Hello and welcome back to the Sausage Keb podcast. My name's John and today we're going to speak about the hybrid rule changes in the British Touring Car Championship for 2023. We're going to go over a little bit about the 2022 hybrid rules just as a little bit of a background for people who maybe haven't read fully about them or didn't fully understand them last season. I was one of those people, by the way. And we'll go into the 2023 rules and the changes, and you can let us know if you think they're too complex, if you think it's going to bring better racing, and all that kind of stuff. So let us know in the comments. If you do like this sort of content, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, please. That really does help us, put us in front of other fans like yourself. So let's get into it. First of all, the 2022 hybrid rules. So this was the first season which we brought in hybrid rules in the British Touring Car Championship, and basically this saw the abolition of the success ballast, which we'd seen so successfully in the seasons previous. So this was to be replaced with a hybrid energy management system. Another easy phrase for me to say. The system was designed to limit the amount of deployment time in qualifying and the number of laps in each race to the most successful drivers. So where you had weight, which was permanently there if you'd been successful previously, this was an energy boost or a button which you pushed on the steering wheel of the car in order to give you more horsepower, obviously from electrical energy, and you could use that tactically around the laps as shown below. So you can see the quali seconds per lap went from 1st down to 10th, and then onwards from 10th you were allowed 15 seconds per lap, and in the race you were allowed 10 laps without hybrid in first, and you were allowed 15 in races that had more than 17 laps in them, and that also was a moving scale all the way down to 10th. Obviously you had to have one event in order to figure out who was the most successful to start punishing them with the hybrid times, etc. But that's how it works. You had a little button on the steering wheel, push that tactically where you felt your car would benefit the most from it, and that could be different depending on whether you're front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. So 2023 hybrid rules which have changed. So these quotes are from BTCC.net. The top 7 cars in the championship and or the top 7 cars on the grid will have reduced hybrid time during the qualifying, and the race is on a sliding scale similar to what we've just discussed, whilst the minimum speed at which the system can be deployed for those top 7 has been increased. Now I'll go into that a little bit later. So what they've done is they've changed that down from the top 10 places to the top 7, so that just brings everyone in closer again, I think, and that is quite key, because I did see quite a marked difference between the cars who were kind of in the mid to rear pack, struggling to get anywhere near some of the cars further up the grid, and generally with success ballast you'd see a lot more closer racing in there. So I think they've tried to just give the hybrid system a bit of a kick up the arse, if you like, to ensure that it does more than it did last season. I've tried to do a little sketch, a crude one at that, to explain that as well. So here we have it. So the cars from 8th place onwards will be able to deploy the hybrid power from a reduced minimum speed, ensuring these drivers can utilise the additional power quicker than the car leading them. So this is my little sketch. Now I've put 60 mile an hour there because I've just picked a speed out of thin air, and say this is the track that you can see with the blue lines, and say normally if you were racing along being consistent, about that dash line is where you'd hit 60 mile an hour. Well, this would mean that the car in 8th has already put his foot down and hit the hybrid button quite a bit before the car in 7th, and the idea is that they get a better run and a chance for an overtake. A little bit like, I suppose, how the Kers used to work in F1, and I suppose it's not a drag reduction system, but it's effectively giving you a run on the car in front of you and a chance to get them into the next corner. And obviously if they're quick enough, they'll do the same again and they'll be able to pass you again, or you'll run off away from them if you've got the true pace. So hopefully that's made it sound a little bit more simple than it does in my head. Let us know if that helped you understand it in the comments. But the next slide goes on. These cars from 8th place onwards will only have this hybrid deployment availability for 50% of the race laps. So this ensures a greater tactical element throughout the race, with those drivers having to be more strategic in choosing which of those laps to use it. Now I think that's quite telling, because otherwise I think it would be too much of a benefit if they had that unlimited until, or they had more than 50%, because they'd really need to know strategically and tactically what's going on with your tyres, what's going on with the car in front's tyres, and they can tell by how the cars are moving in front of them, etc. And then they can use this tactically to make them passes and make them stick. Otherwise, if you don't, and you've got less than 50% of race laps left, you're not going to be able to deploy your hybrid, or you may have used all your hybrid. But that's how I understand it works. If anybody understands any different or knows the minimum speed yet, let us know, because I don't know that one yet. But what do you think of the hybrid rule changes? Do you think it's a little bit too complex? Do you think it needs explained more by the organisers while we're there, so that everybody watching can understand exactly what's happening? Remember, they had the blue LED flashing lights on the windows when you went to the events. Sometimes they were obvious, sometimes they weren't. Would you like to see more lights flashing? Would you like to see, what else would you like to see added to the hybrid system if it has to be made easier for us spectators? Or would you like to see it abolished and a completely different system back, or a mixture of the two, a hybrid of the hybrid, if you like? Let us know in the comments. And next video, I think we'll be speaking about the tyre changes in 2023. Thanks for watching, and be sure to give us a little like, because everyone forgets to do that. And also be sure to watch some of our videos on the playlists, any ones of your choice. There's a lot about the silly season. There'll be another one of them coming soon. But apart from that, I think that's us all done. So until next time, cheers for watching.